Hi, Gabrielle. This is Mr. Bainey from the sociology class. I wanted to make sure that you know exactly what you need to do for every single module, okay? I did send a syllabus to you last week, and that syllabus on that had specific due dates of the different assignments. So I wanted to make sure that you also had the same one that I have. Excuse me, I sent that to your mom a little bit earlier today. But basically what that does is that breaks down the course for you. It'll tell you exactly what is due and when it's due. And that looks like this document right here, okay? So if you go ahead and you look at that, every single one of the modules are broken into what they call the 6 E's. So the first part is engage. Basically that just tells you what the course is going to do. It's like an introduction to the course, okay? Then we go into the Explore section, and that is where you're going to actually watch the videos. You're going to read the direct link to the online textbook, and then it gives you some practice exercises. Then you are going to take part in discussion boards. Those discussions originally had pretty standard end dates, so you had a certain amount of time to do them, and if you don't do them, then they become zeros. But because you and other kids in this class have struggled with that, and I'm not sure that it was appropriately communicated to you, I'm going to open those back up, and you are able to get in and access those. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. Next we do is an elaborate, then we evaluate, which is just a quiz, and then you express. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you first of all and make sure that you see that the total points for this course is going to be 600, okay? Every single module that you'll see. Now, all of Module 1 is in the pink right there. Those are the must-dos, all right? Those you can't skip around. You need to go and you need to do every single one of everything in Module 1. Then if you take a look at Module 2, the first two that are bolded also are must-dos, all right? Now, obviously, as of 6/29, then we go on vacation for a week, so you do have that week to get caught up. Then everything below that, which is in the blue, okay, starting at Seminar 2, Module 2, Seminar 2, all the way down, you can pick any 3 of them that you want. If by chance you have a low score on one module, you can do additional modules. Basically, I'm basing your score out of 600. So if you, and I can't do more than 600, but you know, if you want to work until you have 600 points and get a 100% in this class, I'm happy to work with you to make sure that that happens, right? But the key to it now is to make sure that you're getting through all of these first seminars without any problem. So let me show you real quickly what that looks like. So when you log into the course, it will look exactly like this. The first thing I want you to do is, if you haven't done it already, I want you to do the pre-test. This doesn't count towards anything. It's not part of your grade, all right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the first seminar, okay? So you can see Module 1, Seminar 1, and this is called Engage. So this basically just gives you your objectives. It's going to tell you what this unit's about, all right? And in this case, we're looking at what they call the sociological perspective, and then also by the end of it, you're going to explain what's meant by considering individuals as social beings, okay? Then what we do is if we just click on this next button down in the right-hand corner. Now, this takes us to the meat and potatoes, okay? This is where all of the information comes from. So if you look right here at the watch, what you'll do is you'll open up this Crash Course Sociology, and this gives you the general outline of what we're going to be talking about. So, you know, I do recommend that you grab a notebook and kind of write down the key points. Then what you'll do is you'll open up the textbook here. And once you open that, you can certainly shortcut that as well, okay, to make it easier to get to. But all you're reading is section 1.01. This comes from Creative Commons, so this is an online book. And if we look at the table of contents, 1.1 is simply right here. So you're going to go to, I believe, what, page 6? So if we just scroll down to page 6, what is sociology? And then we just simply read through this textbook, okay? And again, feel free to highlight anything that you want. I believe I might have lied to you. No, this does not have the online highlighter tool. What I would do is, if I were you, is I would kind of take a standard approach to a textbook. So if you see a bolded term, make sure that you're familiar with that, okay? Because more than likely you'll probably see that again. So this basically breaks down what sociology is and the different levels, either micro level, which is a small group, or macro level analysis, which looks at major, large groups such as states or countries or even cities, right? Then we're going to keep moving, and we just kind of go down, and this kind of gives us the introduction into all the things that we're going to be getting into in this course, okay? So it's very important that you do read these and you do understand those. But as you can see, you only had just a couple pages to read, okay? Now, once you do that, you're going to go back here, and the very first assignment that you need to do is simply hop on this discussion board, okay? And based on what you've learned, describe a situation in which a choice you made was influenced by societal pressures. And certainly, like in my case, I'm a 45-year-old man, but I remember, chewing tobacco when I was 12 and getting violently sick and throwing up all, everywhere, because the older kids did it and I thought it was cool and that's what they did on the baseball team and blah, blah, blah. So there I was. So I would just write that, when I was 12, I got really sick by trying to, use chewing tobacco, blah, blah, blah. And that's all I need to do, okay? And as you can see, other kids have come in and they've logged in. And what I want 3 replies. So you'll make your original post, and then you'll probably reply to Hunter, and then you'll probably either reply to me or the other young lady that's in our class named Taylor, right? So, this is your board. I'm going to try to stay out of it. I'll just kind of make sure that you're answering the questions that need to be answered. But if you do that, that's 5 easy points, okay? And I'm not looking for anything major. So that takes us right to the explain part. Now we go to the next E, which is going to be the elaborate, all right, or elaborate. In this case, you're going to answer this question. So in this assignment, you need to compare and contrast a sociological perspective and how it differs from other social sciences. You can present your ideas in a written essay, presentation, video, podcast. I don't care how you do it. You can write me a song. All I want to know is I would need you to compare how are they the same and contrast how are they different. The sociological perspective and how it differs from any other social sciences such as geography or history, all right? It's probably most closely linked to sociology, so I wouldn't, with archaeology, or at least anthropology, cultural anthropology, so I wouldn't do it with that one. But look at the other social sciences and let me know, okay? And again, I'm looking for a well-developed paragraph. I don't need you to write me, a 10-page essay, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a quiz, all right? And this quiz is everything that's already been on that. So let me give you a quick preview as to what it would look like. So the first part of it is simply going to be matching. So make sure you know what culture, figuration, society, the sociological imagination, etc., etc. Which of the following best describes sociology as a subject? A sociologist defines society as a group of people who reside in a defined area. All right, so believe it or not, this is actually the quiz that you're going to be taking. So, and I'm perfectly happy, giving you a preview to it, okay? So in this case, it's 6 questions, all right? Now, if you do not like your score, you are allowed to do it 3 times, okay? So I encourage you to do it 3 times until you get the score that you want. You might as well keep trying over and over again, right? So you do get 3 attempts at that, all right? Typically, that's where my kids score the highest, which is it's an advantage to you because it's also the level where you can get the most points, okay? And then the last thing that you're going to do is express, all right? And this is usually written as a essay. If you don't like to write essays and you'd rather speak into a microphone or do a presentation like this, you're more than welcome to. So all you're going to do is you're going to write a reflection essay answering the following prompt. How do you interpret micro-level and macro-level studies of culture? So again, micro-level might be looking at your individual household and maybe, what they call you know, stratification. So, like, is your home matriarchal? Is it run by your mother? Is it patriarchal or run by your father? Is that lineage coming through your father? Like in Western society, probably it's, you know, your last name comes from more than likely your father's last name, et cetera, et cetera. So there's, you know, there's certain things that we look at as far as culture at a small level, but then also at a macro level, which is a much larger level. So give examples, and was this a new realization for you or not? Why or why not? So, you know, just if you break down those 3 questions and answer them completely, I absolutely, you know, have no problem giving you full credit or partial credit, and always sending something back and saying, you know, if you'd like to talk about this, or you know, using my feedback anytime I do give feedback. You know, no score that you ever take in this class is going to be final unless you say it's final, okay? So I want to keep working with you on these until you get the idea, all right, until you get the understanding. Then once you do that, voila, you've finished the module 1, okay? So really starting last week, you should have completed at least 1 of these every 2 days. So you are behind, all right? So you do need to get caught up. So hopefully that helps at least you get started. Like I said, I am more than happy to meet you online, and I can walk you through each of these. You know, it's entirely up to you. So just let me know what works best for you. Other than that, I appreciate you taking the time. I didn't mean to make a 11-minute or 12-minute video, but given the circumstance, I think it's the best bet for us at this point. So any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.